Hey guys, it's Morgan. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button down below. Today I will be doing advice for incoming sophomore. So I just want to let you guys know that my sophomore year was the toughest year I've ever had, but I really hope that you guys are able to learn from my mistakes and listen to my advice based off of my experiences that I had this year. Without further ado, let's get into the video. First category is organization and stress. So I hope you guys don't burn yourself out sophomore year like I did, because junior year does come right around the corner, and I know there is summer, but really I do think that sophomore year can feel really overwhelming with a lot of extracurriculars, sports, etc. And I just think the best way to balance it is by taking it slow and step by step. Creating a weekly schedule is really important. That's what I do on my phone and my journal in my room. And I do think it helps me a lot because it has all my upcoming dates, appointments, stuff that's due, tests, etc. I think sophomore year is the year where you have to stop saying yes to everything. And I know that it might seem appealing to you because it will look good on college applications, but it won't. Next off, we have AP classes, which is a huge thing. At my school, you can only take AP starting sophomore year, unfortunately, but I do think that taking APs freshman year would be really helpful if your school offers it. You should start off with a few APs. You don't start off with like 5,000. That's an exaggeration, but really I think 1 to 2 APs is a great start. The biggest I have for APs is take the APs you are interested in. Even though you might be interested in like business, but you're also interested in science, as long as your AP class would correspond to like one of those focuses, then you're good to go. For example, I want to go into a STEM major, but I did take AP Human Geography, and then I also took AP Chemistry. Weirdly enough, I did way better in AP Chem than I did in AP Human Geography, and that's because I did enjoy chemistry way more than AP Human Geography. Like, it's that simple. Don't get me wrong, I really did try to work my best in the AP Human Geography class. Like, the content isn't going through my brain as well, and I just don't think it was worth it. But what I do think is worth it about AP classes is that you are able to get college credit for it if you pass the exam. So passing the exam at the end of the year, which would be in March, is considered a 3, 4, or 5. Some colleges only accept 5s, which is really tough, but some colleges do accept 3s and 4s. So doing well on the exam at the end of the year proves that you are able to skip that college course unless you're majoring in it, and then it will help you graduate earlier or just basically be ahead in classes at college, which is not a bad thing. You take ones that you enjoy, but also you need to be able to know that you will do well in those classes. I have no idea why I took AP Human Geography because I did not do well in the class, and I definitely shouldn't have taken it. Next in general is classes. Your sophomore year courses should be more rigorous, so most of you probably already picked your sophomore year courses, but I really do hope your courses align with your focuses. As time goes on in high school, you're gonna have a more rigorous schedule, but also that means you're gonna have to put in more time and effort into the classes you struggle with more. This is pretty clear, but if you do struggle with a class, you want to put all of your time into that rather than something that you're already good at, if that makes sense. Just put more time and effort into the classes you struggle with. At my school, we have something called Academy, which is a period that you can do anything in, and you just go to any of your teachers, you can do any work. But I do think that you need to use your time wisely sophomore year. It is a huge thing, as time management is not as easy anymore. Especially for me, when I was on Zoom freshman year, I had all the time in the world, but sophomore year took me down. So really just use your time wisely instead of like going on your phone. Ask your teachers questions during Academy, and also going to a teacher's academy can really help you because that will inform your teacher that you do care about their class and you want to improve in their class, which can further help you for like anything like rounding grades, something like that. So really be nice to your teachers, attend their academies if you have that at your school, and just be kind to them because they are teachers. They're doing everything for you. Even if your teacher isn't the best, still be kind and hopefully it will pay off. Along with that, teacher recommendations are just around the corner too, so making good teacher connections sophomore year is key. So the next section is friends. So I think sophomore year really helps you realize who your friends are, because freshman year everyone is so excited to be there and they want to meet a lot of new people, which isn't a bad thing. But I do think sophomore year, you really narrow down your friends and know who your true friends are. Surround yourself with good, positive, supportive people. They are gonna be your best friends. They're gonna be with you thick and thin, and those are the friends you wanna keep. I am so grateful for all my friends, each and every one of them supporting me throughout the school year, and I love them to death. Love all my dance friends and school friends. Mwah. Sports. This is probably my favorite section to talk about, and I will be talking a little bit about my experience. But I do think sports is so great to participate in. Not only does it allow you to meet new people, but you are able to build real life application skills such as communication and teamwork. So at the beginning of my sophomore year, I did cross country. I was also class president though, and that meant I had to plan homecoming during the same time. I don't think for me it was the best time to start a new sport, but I will say that the team was great. I loved them so much, and I do think it was a really, really rewarding sport. So because I was so stressed and so overwhelmed with everything, I did stop cross country mid-season. I know, it doesn't look the best on me, but I really do think it was a good idea just because I felt so overwhelmed and everything was just piling up on my plate, and I was able to have more time to do what I enjoyed too. I mean, a huge thing sophomore year I would say is take care of yourself. Really, junior year is also going to be really tough, but if you're getting into the habit of just having some self-care days, that can really help you. At the same time as I was doing cross country, I was doing dance because I've been doing dance for my whole life, and it is my biggest time commitment sport. Spring, I did lacrosse. I did lacrosse freshman year, but obviously, like I said, time management is so much easier freshman year. So with lacrosse, I had dance competitions because dance competition season is around that same time in spring. So my schedules did conflict a bit, but I was able to manage it pretty well. I only missed a practice per week. I think my busiest day was like a Wednesday. I would go to school and then I would go to dance, and then I would go back to school for lacrosse. And then for lacrosse on Wednesdays, I'd be there till like 9:30 p.m., meaning I'd get home at like 10 p.m. and I had no homework done yet. I mean, like I said, I do use my time pretty wisely at school, so I do get some of my homework done there. And whenever I have free time in the day, I will sometimes get ahead of my classes because I think that's really nice. So just commit to sports that you think you do have time for and that you will be able to balance with everything else going on in your life, because it is hard. I really encourage you guys to try out for high school teams or even sports outside of school, because you're going to be able to meet great and amazing people who have similar interests as you. Now we have standardized tests. So this one is a really short section because there's only really one standardized test you can take sophomore year, which is the PSAT. I think that's how you say it, but that's basically the PSAT. This is, like in the name, a practice SAT. I don't think that this really defines how smart you are. It's literally one test, and the SAT is designed to just test your strategy of taking tests. You cannot take the PSAT sophomore year and qualify for national merit, unfortunately. That's in 11th grade. It's really good exposure, especially for the math section if you've been taking pre-calc or will be taking pre-calc or algebra 2. Leadership in clubs. So this sophomore year, I joined around 7 or 8 clubs, which was a lot. So 4 of my clubs had pretty large time commitments, while the other 3 just like sat there. You know, I went there probably weekly and that's all. But really, I think if you were able to explore a lot of clubs freshman year, narrow your clubs down sophomore year. For me, I was on Zoom though, so sophomore year I technically treated as my freshman year of clubs. So now I'm able to really know what I do want to do junior year. And I did quit some clubs actually at the very end of the year, which, I mean, there was really no point to quit at the end of the year, but I just really know like now what I want to do and what clubs I will participate in junior year. Establishing places for yourself early on is really helpful to gain leadership positions in the clubs that you are interested in, and that can also help for college applications. Invest yourself into specific clubs that you will commit to. One of my favorites, community service. So volunteering, I think, is a huge part of being a high schooler. I know a lot of schools that require some community service. My school doesn't, but I do give up my time on the weekends. I volunteer at Kaiser, and I also volunteer at a local food bank, and I have a leadership position at the food bank, which is being an ambassador. But I do want to say that don't do volunteering just for the college application. Really do try to help people. That's what I actually do enjoy. That's why I want to go into the medical field just like everyone else. But really being able to help people is a great thing, and it makes you feel good. Volunteer jobs can also tie a bit into work experience. So if you have the time this year, I think volunteering is a great commitment. Another way you can help people is through jobs. Jobs are great, absolutely stunning on a college application, which is selling apparel to clubs at my school. So I'm kind of like their ambassador at my school. It's a great experience, whether it be a low-level job or minimum wage. Everything you can do for a job is great. If you don't have the time for a job, do not do it. You're gonna get fired. It can also be great because you get that bang, like, who wants to buy new clothes with me? Or if you really do need to support your family financially. Everything about a job is just great. Driver's ed. You can get your driver's permit at 15 and a half. So now I have my permit and I can get my license soon, but not on my birthday, unfortunately, which was my goal, but it's okay. So doing driver's ed is required before you get your permit, and it usually takes a while. For me, it took 1 day, but that's only because I did it in winter break. To do your driver's ed during fall break, winter break, spring break, any of those times, because it is a great time to do that. There I go again, saying great. And as people start to turn 16, driving is starting to get really popular. So you do want to get your driver's permit as soon as possible. So try not to procrastinate. Really short one, but sleep. I cannot express how well sleep can affect your grades, like, and everything to go with it. I regret not sleeping as much. Please sleep. It is so important. It is so helpful when you are taking your tests. You're able to function and remember things, like especially when a lot of things come to memorization. At least get 6 hours of sleep, but sleep is important, and that's the only way you're going to be able to do well both in sports and academically. Last, we have planning for college. This is a huge one and a thing that I've talked about in my freshman advice video, but here we go. Sophomore year, I felt a lot of pressure on me to do well, and obviously this is because college is coming up. Like, it's 2 years away and you really do feel the need to be perfect and the best at everything, but you don't have to be. I do want to show you guys that sophomore year is going to be tough, but if you're able to put in your time commitment into things you enjoy and everything that you really do want to do in the future, I think it's worth it. You guys should just take it slow and you will be okay, I promise. Realizing that your experiences throughout high school are going to shape the person you are going to be by the end of the year, every single time, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, you're going to grow as an individual. Try not to get stuck on one certain thing. Don't get too caught up in this college application process and really just try to focus on living the high school experience. But if you're like me, who is a pretty driven individual, I admire you. I was in the same position this sophomore year, but being open-minded to new things is really a great thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and for you incoming sophomores, good luck. I know you guys will do great. Take it easy on yourself, don't stress, have a great summer, and stay tuned for future videos. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, don't do anything, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!